since 8 o'clock. Stan. Yeah. So as you can see, I don't know if you can fully see him. I have started. People have been asking me to do a Falklands video, like I've done the banner one or the Irish soldier in Northern Ireland and the Vietnam one. So I've started to prep the kit and get it ready. And then on the other mannequin, we have the new Australian camouflage multicam. So that is coming up soon as well. Should be that video will be up at the weekend. I had to reshoot it. I did do it, but I had an old one of my memory cards for some reason it's corrupted. So I have it marked now, so I know which one it is. But there is still files on it that I want to get off it. But I did shoot that video and it corrupted, so I have to do it again. So normal tea for me. Stan is on normal tea. Bet he would what? That would be himself being late. I'm not late. Why are you all saying I'm late, lads? I'm not late. I'm here. Or is there a delay on this? Is there a delay on this thing or something? Am I getting the messages late? I don't know. Yeah, so that's the videos that are coming up. This one won't be up for a while yet. I was just literally... I probably will do a video just on the 68 pattern jacket. And stuff like that. He asked me to do paras, so he is paras. Operation Banner Veterans Museum. Gary, hello, how are you? Operation Banner Veterans Museum, just that it pops in there as well, actually. I will be doing a video on his museum, hopefully fairly soon as well. We'll just have to arrange it between the two of us. In Armagh, if any of you want to go, it's obviously there at Banner Veterans Museum. If any of you are in the area, go check it out. It's meant to be a fantastic museum. Excuse me, all privately run as well, all run by donations. No one makes money out of it. I had pancakes right in the centre of my chest. Good evening, gentlemen. So yeah, so those videos are coming up at the weekend, which is tomorrow. Yeah, so apologies. I will move it. I don't know if you can see it. Move the camera to it again, I suppose. So yeah, so that's the Australian multicam uniform, the new uniform that they use. I actually like it. I like it. It's not like your normal MTP or the multicam that the Americans use. It's quite distinctive, and you'll see it later on in the video when I do an up close video of it. So how has everyone's week been? Has anyone been up to anything? Any mischief? Any trouble? Anything along those lines? Anyone got anything interested in their collection? I have been very slow lately in getting stuff for my collection. Still trying to catch up on bills and stuff from Christmas, and January and February are normally my car insurance and house insurance and all that type of stuff. So yeah, so hopefully we'll be getting back to normal now soon. Multicam, Ren screaming from the video. Yeah, it's. I'll just take off his rank actually, and I can show you close to the camera. So that's what it actually looks like. It's a dark, goldy type multicam, but it's quite nice. It is quite nice, and there's some nice little interesting features on it when you actually see. Just simple. The back of the reg market. They're actually diamond. The Velcro is diamond. And the reason it's done that was to stop it from actually moving. So there was an actual awful lot of thought and practicality went into this uniform, and it is a very good uniform. I do like it. It's a very I have worn it, believe it or believe it not. It is a very comfortable uniform to wear, and it is very lightweight. Got it in 1948 dated SSH-40 Russian helmet. Was going to do an unboxing, but thought maybe not under the circumstances. Um, I don't think under the circumstances that would be an issue to do an unboxing of a helmet like that. Um, I don't think it would be. Uh, by all means, do a video on the helmet. I don't think that there would be an issue over the date of the helmet and stuff like that. Not much. Finally, got my box of baton rounds filled. Last one turned up yesterday. Oh, very cool. So you have a full box of them now. What model? What make are you collecting? Um, Cause I have some spare ones, but there is more. They're getting expensive as well at the minute. Got a thing inbound officers World War II backpack repo from somewhere east. Very cool, very nice. Uh, got a couple of inert baton rounds. Everyone seems to be getting baton rounds lately. I do have a friend up the north, and he actually has a massive collection. He's got the CS rounds as well. God, I'm in an awful fucking heap this evening. Between tired and yawning and coughing and SS-40 is Cold War, not much as anything. Yeah, I don't see any. I don't see an issue. Um, I don't think. I don't think the present climate of what is happening over there will affect the general collecting of um, stuff like that. You might possibly see an awful lot of the USSR and Russian reenactors and stuff like that keep their heads low for a while, but I don't think it would affect them. Like the I don't think I think it would affect more of the airsofter type guys because an awful lot of those guys were wearing pretty up to date Russian kits. Um, so I think it would affect them a lot more than it will reenactors. Uh, Baton rounds or D cell batteries. Oh, perfect. Um, got a post-war RAF tunic. I'm having double trouble dating it. I will do a video on it. I think it's late 60s. Yeah, I do know that I've done some stuff in the past, and I'm not sure about dates. And actual people on my videos have helped me figure it out. So yeah, so definitely do a video on it. Going to a nice little military fair this Sunday. Hopefully, we'll pick up a few items. Very good, Nick. I hope you do. Best of luck if you do. Got 4 or 5 different types. Needed 12 to fill a box, so packed them up as I found them. Perfect. Yeah. That is an original box, or is it just an ammo box? Got some CS tabs years ago. Great for some eye-watering laughs. Yeah, I hope you. I hope you didn't use them. CS sucks. It does suck. Uh, it wasn't being 100% serious regarding the helmet. Sorry. Oh, Stan, sorry. I apologise. I'm away with the fairies at the minute. Airsofters or spendicky, as I call them, are normally better equipped than average soldier. Yeah. I was at a show, pre-COVID, and it was airsofters there dressed up as SEAL Team 6 or DevGru and stuff like that. They had unbelievable kits. Like they had London Bridge tactical plate carriers, which were about $600, give or take. They had Cry Precision pants, which were another couple of €100. Um, their kits alone that they were wearing must have cost close to 3 or 4 thousand euros. That's not including their weapons and stuff like that. But yeah, they were absolutely fast helmets. They were wearing night vision goggles. Actually, one of them had working night vision goggles. So God only knows what he paid for them. Yeah, but really, really expensive. Original box with foam insert. Oh, cool. Cool, Andrew. You'll have to send me pictures of it. There, because I really like that type of stuff. Where is the fair at? Meal Team 6. Got a couple of World War II German deck cards off eBay. Going to test them with UV light. Only £6. Just hope they're genuine. Most deck cards are genuine. There are very, very few fakes of them. I've come across very few fakes of them because, unfortunately, there are hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of them floating around, German ones. So there's no need really to forge them or fake them. The ones that you will see being faked are the ones that are 6th of June, if you get me. Very strategic dates. Not all forged or faked, but in my previous things, and it's not that they're not real. It's when you see them being sold because the date and because of, say, the 6th of June or something like that. He could have died in the Eastern Front, but because of the date, they're trying to sell it as killed at Normandy or killed on the first day of Normandy or something like that. So yeah, but that's the seller trying to hype it up, and for something that's only worth €6 or €7, or pounds or whatever you pay, they're trying to get 20, £30 for it, so, or euros for it. So just be cagey. And always remember, lads, phones are fantastic now for Googling information. If you see a deck card and you're at a show and it's like that, you might say it's €30 or whatever. Google the name. The Germans have a database. The British have a database of these guys. It's easy to get the information. Step back for 5 or 10 minutes. Do a bit of quick research. Go back then and see what you think. Some people kick the ass out of it. I am only casual. Is that in relation to the guys that are spending the money on ridiculous kits? Yeah, I heard that, John. I heard that the runes people ones are the ones fake, etc. Dates make sense. Yeah, they're commonly, I won't say commonly, forged. Yet again, there's enough of them there that you don't really need to forge them, but they are more expensive because of what they are. Some people actually just collect those deck cards, which is quite morbid, but I understand why they do it, but it wouldn't be my thing. That's a small collector's fair near Glasgow. There's a small collector's fair near Glasgow tomorrow. Place called Bentry. Sadly, I'm working. Pain in the arse. It's 10 minutes away. I think you have a chest cold coming on, Andrew, or a cough, or something. Goes to the trots. A bit of Glasgow belly or something after a deep fried Mars bar that you can't make tomorrow. Or even if you got a half day or something, maybe, and try and make some of it. But yeah, you're definitely looking a bit pale at the minute. I do actually have German deck cards, and I meant to dig them out. Ralph asked me ages ago to dig out my German deck cards. I only have 2 or 3 of them, but I must find them. They're in a filing cabinet somewhere. I've spent way too much on my Bundeswehr airsoft loadout, but I intend to use it in living history events too. But the difference between Bundeswehr and SEAL Team 6 is Bundeswehr stuff is not going to cost you, for a basic kit, probably €2,000, whereas an airsofter for his Bundeswehr, or for an airsofter for his SEAL Team 6, on average, his rifle or his prop rifle will cost him €500 or €600. His vest is going to cost him €500 or €600. His helmet will cost him another €100. We're over the 1,000 mark already. That's not including his Cry Precision, because they're the ones that they want. Pants, U-back shirt, Like a cry position pants is $400-500, if not less at the moment. Um, so you're definitely talking the guts of $2,000 for to put a SEAL Team 6 airsoft loadout together. Bundeswehr would not cost you half of that. If you spend over €1,000 on a Bundeswehr loadout, you're doing frivolously. You're doing well. Yeah, it shouldn't cost that much. Um, Cough, sniff, I feel it too. Yeah, you're looking very pale, Andrew. If I was you, I'd definitely take a limp sip and call in and just relax and take it handy tomorrow. I know of a Dutch guy that goes digging in Poland and reburies stuff on his land in Holland. Reburies stuff on his land in Holland. Venturing. As in, he buries relics or he buries people? Because I don't think that's allowed. But yeah, I understand. Yeah, I know guys that relic hunters. They go with metal detectors, and they they check out battle sites and stuff like that, and then they try and sell off what they find. Pretty much. I spent about 250 on jacket, trousers, and webbing and boots. There you go, for a quarter of the price of an airsofter guy. Yeah, it's crazy. They're going to put the cards in a frame, maybe with a couple of cheap German medals, War Merit, Eastern Front, or East Wall medal, just to display. Yeah, sounds cool, sounds nice. Um, Sounds nice. I'd be interested in seeing that actually. Like if the deck cards, I don't think it would. You wouldn't even have to. It'd be nice to have like if you individually, because I'm sure you could check the records. So if you have a guy's name, you could see what fronts he fought on, or even what he was decorated with. Um, so I mean, you could put his picture in the frame with his actual awards, reproductions of his awards, be it just a ribbon, Eastern Front ribbon, or Iron Cross ribbon, or whatever he was entitled to, and that would be cool actually if it was done that way. But yeah, I don't know if you want to go into that much depth into it, but I think that would be cool. Bundy gear, grey moleskin with 1959 helmet cover is cool. Yeah, it is actually. He buries relics. And he buries relics in his own land to resell them. Fair enough. I need to find a helmet cover, Dave. I have a net. I've got a Bundy M62 helmet that's been shot with a 9mm round. Got it cheap and looks great. Who shot it though? That's the question. Net is okay. Net and any NATO camo seems okay as well. Who's been shooting? Who's shooting M60? Are you going over the 50 mark actually yet, Stan, with helmets? I know you were close to getting to the 50. I just wonder have you got over the 50 of it? So I dug out this beret for the Falklands. People would be going mad. So yeah, the dreaded paras. They call everyone else in the British Army hats. But there you go. They have a weird way of shaping their berets, but this came to me shaped. It was given to me by somebody, so I could not even attempt. I wouldn't even know how to try and shape it the way that they shaped them, but that's the way that it came to me. That's the way I was told it's worn. So, yeah. The black, this is a common thing you see in the Falklands. And in Northern Ireland, you see them with black, not just the paras, but other regiments would black out the cap badges. The Royal Green Jackets used to do it. A lot of regiments used to do it, and it phased out pretty much in a banner. You don't see them doing it anymore. Well, you will see the black one being used by the paras, the Pathfinders, as a badge of recognition. They wear the black parawings compared to the other lads who wear the silver ones. So there you go, useless piece of information. Um, uh, where have we gone? The fella I bought the cards off on eBay has a link to his page to Soldier Records. I just haven't got around to it. Yeah, just a couple of DDRTs and sit back and relax and do some research for yourself. The Bundy of the era used and in NATO, it seems, a tad item when on the range. I need a Bundy helmet. I'm using a Belgian one. As a stand-in, I'm at 50 helmets now. Well, hey, Stan, you broke it. You broke it. What's next now? 60? Over the left eye. Yeah, that was my left eye. Yeah. Pair of barrettes. A law unto themselves. They are a bloody law. Dead bellow. Have stories of paras and Gen Guard punch-ups. Yeah, the paras aren't liked by an awful lot of regiments. Whoops. I suppose it's normal rivalry, but yeah, paras aren't liked by an awful lot of regiments. Kenny Rebel cheers. Kenny, yeah, I was lucky to get it around £40. I think probably been shot at an army base. It looks good and it's my size bloody big. Stan has the half century. He does have the half century. I thought you were talking about the size of his head, but no, he does have the half century. I put up a bet with Stan, months ago, and it was to break 30. I think it was to break 30 helmets. So he's gone 20 over what I told him to break. So we'll see when he get to the 60 now. How long it'll take him to get to 60? Well, excuse me, lads. I don't know what's wrong with me this evening. I don't know if his missus will be too happy with us trying to break the 60, but we'll see what happens. Yes, the paras do have a law unto themselves. They call other regiments hats. As in, unless you don't have the maroon beret, you just wear the hat. I think that's where it comes from. Like Green Jackets, paras have a place in affection with most people. Green Jackets are probably what's the word I'm looking for? They're like the lovable cousin, if you get me. Everybody has that cousin that is just around the place at family events and stuff like that. Green Jackets are the same because whenever you go to a reenactment or a commemoration weekend or something like that, you will always see Green Jacket cap badges. Always. Probably the worst coming, but 60, why not? Here, yeah, but I mean, if you have a divorce, then you have more room for helmets. But no, don't let this hobby cause you to have a divorce. We wouldn't want that. So yeah, so that's the crack. So we've been on we've been on nearly half an hour already. We've been on 25 minutes. Royal Green Jackets was the biggest regiment at one point. No, it was not, Kenny. Royal Green Jackets was the second biggest regiment at one point. The biggest regiment was the Ulster Defence Regiment. The Royal Green Jackets had 3 full-time and 2 part-time TA regiments. The Ulster Defence Regiment had 7 battalions at one stage. Was it 7? I'll just double check. I think they had 7 full-time or 7 on-the-go battalions. Uh, sorry. See, this is what I mean. When you're at a show or something and you spot something and you're looking for information, phone is always handy. Its official role of public defence order against armed attacks was the largest infantry regiment in the British Army, formed of 7 battalions, plus another 4 added within 2 years. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It had 11 battalions at one stage. There we go. Operation Banner Veterans Museum was there before me. I knew it was something like that. But yes, it was the second biggest regiment in the British Army. The Royal Ulster Defence Regiment, or the Ulster Defence Regiment, was the biggest. Not that special. I mean, even the female paycheck in the brigade HQ gets a maroon beret. Yeah. Which is an awful lot of people think is a P company. If you pass P company, or P company has nothing to do with it, I think. P company is a part of training that you pass, but to signify that you're a paratrooper, it's actually your wings. It's not the colour of your beret. The berets are given out to anyone, I believe, that is in the 16th Air Assault Brigade, and I know the Royal Irish Rangers are part of it, and there was a big dispute on with them whether they were going to wear the maroon beret or the carbine, and I think they're wearing the maroon beret with their own cap badge and hackle behind it. I think it was the way around it. I don't, and they're wearing their famous carbine on dress occasions, but I think on work occasions they're wearing the maroon beret with their own cap badging and heckle. I have 2 semi-tame mates who were Green Jackets, top blokes. Mind you, I have a Grenadier Guards Queen's Company mate who is the salt of the earth. When they first met, they were like dogs who first met. Yeah, there's always that rivalry. Like Andy is a engineer. He was engineers, I think, weren't you, Andy? There's always that rivalry between infantry battalions and infantry companies. Even in battalions, different companies have a rivalry between each other. But when you get 2 different groups all together, it's lethal. Like I can remember being in bars years ago, and you'd have infantry lads in one corner, you'd have cavalry lads in another corner, and you'd have artillery guys somewhere else, or you could have engineers or whoever. And everyone stayed to themselves, but then a fight could break out, and it could be combat arms versus the engineers. It depended really, and it didn't matter. It was just a bit of fun, really. But yeah, and then you could have the artillery could kill each other with the cavalry, and the infantry lads to stand back and watch them. And then it was just one of those things. Lots of sneering. They had a drink together, and it was okay. Our big rivalry was the artillery. Yeah, everyone's rivalry is the artillery for some reason. Where I was based at one stage, we were based near the FAR, or the First Artillery Regiment. Also became known as the Flying Artillery Regiment because we reckoned it was full of fucking misfits and birds. Bird in the Irish Army is a guy that just flies by. The grey man, if you get me, but the bad grey man, just a bit of a Mayfaner. Something to do with white lanyards. It didn't really matter with the white lanyards. It was the fact that they were artillery. We just slag them, and sometimes getting punch-ups with them. But generally, it was a slagging. Yeah. RAF police loved by all. Teardrop or snowdrops. Why am I calling them teardrops? Snowdrops. We don't have RAF police. Well, we don't have. We have military police, alright, but we don't. The separate branches don't have. The Navy have their own police force. But what do they call them? Is it provost, or provost? Can't remember. It's not definitely not provost anyway, but it's something. Long range snipers killed from a distance. Artillery, no, we call them they're long range landscapers. I wouldn't even call them snipers because they just obliterate the side of a mountain. Being a sniper is precise and clinical, whereas they'll just flatten a full grid square of a map, hopefully hitting something. So yeah, they're definitely not long range snipers. They're more like long range landscapers than anything else really. So yeah, I wouldn't call them definitely not snipers anyway. Long range snipers. I'm trying to think. What were the Navy police called? The name is there, but it's eluding me. I know. Oh, I might come to me in a minute. I know of the Provos in the RAF. The book is the word. Nah, it's something to do with the artillery losing their guns in the battle, and a load of sappers captured them back. Where I come from, actually, in our courthouse, in our area, an awful lot of guys fought in Crimea. Apparently, there's actually a Crimean cannon that was captured in Crimea at our courthouse. Naval regulators. No, I don't think it's that neither. But yeah, so that's there. It's local. I must actually do a video of it. It's not the one that they make the Victoria Crosses out of, which would be very interesting. I was watching actually a documentary. It's actually going around, flying around on YouTube there, about the making of the Victoria Crosses. They make them in goes of 8. Like they literally, it's the bell housing of the end of the cannon, which would have screwed into the barrel, if you get me. That's what they make the Victoria Crosses out of. And apparently they're very difficult to make because of the metal being so porous, and it's a bad metal. But they literally take a sliver of this metal and they make 8 Victoria Crosses in one go, and then they hold them. They hold them, and according to the issued out, and I think is it when they have 2 left, they make another batch of 8. I think that's what they said it happened. They lost the guns, and others recaptured them. Crimea River. Crimea River. Isn't that a song? Yes, I know. This is not a thing to be proud of. Yeah, you look it up. It's quite interesting. I think Stan actually sent me that documentary. I'm not sure. But it's a very interesting documentary. How much would you pay for the Irish German style helmet? The early Free State times. You're talking of the Vickers helmet. In good condition, one of those, you're talking. I've seen them going for up to €700. They're a very expensive item. When you get them, they normally have dings and dents and bangs on them. But yeah, they are a very, very expensive item, especially if they come with Oh, excuse me, lads. Especially if they come with the cap badge. That's in a little clip behind the just on the forehead. Which you're talking definitely 500-600 euros for a Vickers World War Two helmet. Um, they didn't last that long neither. They were taken out of issue, I believe. They were never fully implemented. Um, During the Second World War, you see an awful lot of guys still wearing Brody style helmets. Um, I think it was the regular army wore the Vickers helmets of what were called the LDF, or the local defence volunteers, wore the Brody type, and then in the 50s, the whole army went to the Brody. Then in the 60s, they got the Mark IVs, and then they had the Mark IVs until they got the Oralites in the late 70s, early 80s. And then they got the Pastech, which is the equivalent to the American one now at the minute. Vickers was who made the Irish ones. It would need to be a Vickers one. They're called Vickers helmets. Um, but yeah, Vickers was who made the Irish ones. Didn't they bury a load of those Vickers helmets into a runway foundation? They did. They crushed them. Um, they did crush them. The Irish Army at one stage will not and does not sell surplus. So all the uniforms that are issued and handed back are shredded and used as fertilizer. Uh, the likes of ordnance and stuff like that, the Orlight helmets and things like that. I believe they were sold to some African nation country. Um, yeah, so they do get rid of them. They, they don't do surplus. So to get Irish Army kit um, is extremely hard. It is hard. Plus, it's illegal to a certain degree. You can't buy and sell Irish kit. You're not supposed to buy and sell Irish kit here. Um, it's a law that goes back to the time of the Troubles to stop the IRA, the provos and stuff getting their hands on Irish Army uniforms that was deemed illegal because they had tactics. The IRA had tactics of dressing as policemen, Irish soldiers and stuff like that to rob banks, post offices, barracks as well. They robbed an army barracks in the north dressed as British soldiers. They attacked the police station dressed as policemen. They assassinated guys dressed as policemen. So yeah, it's hard to get. The Irish stuff is hard to get. At least the steel would have been half good. Um, it was very soft steel, if I remember, the Vickers helmets. They were easily dented and stuff like that. That bit of info was Military Collectibles video years ago. Yeah, the Military Collectibles does have, or he did had he got a Vickers helmet recent enough there, maybe last year, the year before. That was in very very good condition, and I think he paid a reasonable enough price for it too. Um, but yeah, if you want to look up the Vickers helmets, Military Collectibles does have a video on them. I don't have one. I've never owned one, believe it or not. Um, they've always been out of my price scale when I've seen them come up for sale. If you want me to get some Paddy Flies, message me. I see the odd bits. I do actually have some Paddy Flash. I have my own kit that I was allowed to keep before I hand it back. But there are Paddy Flash stuff is ridiculously expensive actually, believe it or not. The Navy stuff, the Navy got a new uniform there last year during COVID actually, which is like a grey and black and white Paddy Flash, and it's quite nice. But I can't wait till I see when that stuff starts coming up on eBay and see how much that stuff's going to get uh, sold for. It's going to be ridiculous. Um, Operation Badder Veterans Museum, that was Co Barracks Armagh. And I knew there was a barracks there. It was a Royal Irish Fusiliers that was stationed there, that the IRA lads dressed up as British soldiers and entered the barracks with an old Bedford truck, I think it was, and they literally cleaned out the stores. You wore it for real. I did wear the uniform for real. I wore it for a total of just under 12 years. Was how long I was in uniform. The petty flash. I actually, when I first started, we had the old green uniform. The one that I did the video of actually in, yes, the one that I did the video of the soldier on the border was my original uniform. That was my original combat uniform, and my shirt was my original shirt. Still fits me. But I got and then that was '98. We had two different uniforms. You had a combat uniform, which was that green one. You had a working dress uniform, which was nearly the same as the British lightweights. All of our green pants. You had a woolly pulley jumper, which are flashes on your sleeves, what we call flashes. So you had your command flash, your rank, your battalion, and your rank on both sleeves on your jumper. We very rarely see guys. We used to wear brassards that guys could take on and off as well, because you very rarely see them worn on a combat jacket. Stitched onto a combat jacket, you'd see the brassards alright, but that was our summer dress. And then when it got hot, you could take off your jumper. And then for the working dress, we were allowed to wear the combat jacket if it was inclement conditions. But that's what we used to wear. Then in 2000, 99, 2000, the DPMs came in. Initially, we got what was called the Elvis shirt. You had literally a big 70s style collar on the shirts, and the right markings were all Velcro. And then later on, they came with the little slide. So that was definitely 99, 2000. Because I can remember watching 9/11 in the Curragh, getting inoculations to go away somewhere, watching the World Trade Center, and we were in DPMs at the time. So that was 2001. So it would have been 99, 2000 before we got to DPMs. What part of Ireland are you in? I'm in the west of Ireland. The west of Ireland, nearly at the Aran Islands. That gives you a hint. So yeah, but like when even my time in the military, kit drastically changed. Boots changed 2 or 3 times. The paddy flash, the olives never changed. The greens, when I was in the greens, they were the same. But when we got the paddy flash, there was minor little details changed nearly with every issue we got. There was something different. They got rid of the Elvis collars fair quick, and we got regular size collars. A lot of guys then, what they would do is we had button pockets on the top of our smocks. An awful lot of guys would actually stitch that close with that button, and they would sew zips into the sides of them, so you could get at it easier enough. And then the army adopted that, so you do see them with buttons on the top of the chest pockets, but they put a zip in the sides of them, for guys to get in and get at them. What other things did we change? Did I see get changed? We had a separate fleece, like a layering system. It was a green fleece, but it was very what's the word I'm looking for? It wouldn't wash easy. It would literally 2 or 3 washes and destroy. So then they changed that, and they brought in what was called the Barracks Jacket, which is, I do actually have one of them. I could do a video on it. The Barracks Jacket was like a dry flow type jacket. You could wear around the barracks instead of wearing your big combat smock. Newfoundland here. Oh, Canadian. Very good. Hello, how are you? People who can still wear German garments they wore in the 90s make most of us spit. Yeah, sorry, I apologise for that. I've always been the size pretty much I am. They were sorry, mate, you'd hate me. I got my first rugby tour shirt from 1988 when I was 18, and it still fits me just about. I was working in fitness first, first Mitchum on their air conditioning when the unpleasantness happened in 9/11. In a fitness first Mitchum. Uh, yeah, that's where I was for 9/11. Like, there's an awful lot of historical events. You know, to bang in your head that you can remember. I can remember hearing the news. I was at home on leave um, when Princess Diana was killed, and I can remember I was actually asleep, and I remember my mother coming in and waking me up, going, "Turn on Sky News. Um, Princess dies after being killed," and I was like, "What are you on about?" Um, I do remember that. What else? I remember as a young child. I remember my father sitting me down in front of a telly because he was telling me it was a very historical occasion. And my father was a very good historian. My father liked history. But I can remember him sitting me down watching Nelson Mandela be released on, I don't know what the channel was, but I can remember watching it, and it was like this grainy footage of a road because Nelson Mandela was kept in this house. And the iconic thing is I can remember him walking up the road, holding hands with Winnie Mandela and waving it in the air, coming all the way up this big long country road. I remember that as well, actually. What must have been? Jesus, I suppose it was about. When was Mandela released? May you go forth and be faithful when you get there. May you go forth again. Was working in Germany when the Berlin Wall fell. Um, Berlin Wall, 89. Can I remember the Berlin Wall? I do remember watching video clips of the Berlin Wall, but I'm not sure. I do actually remember the Berlin Wall being taken down as well. And that was, I remember watching that on the news. There was a lot of people chanting, standing on top of the walls, and there was guys there with lump hammers and steel bars trying to take chunks out of it. And then there was eventually a gap cut, and you had an East German border guard and a West German border guard, and shaking hands but through this hole in the wall with each other. I remember that, actually, yeah. 92, 93, when Mandela, was that when Mandela was released? Yeah, because I definitely remember Mandela being released. I remember the space shuttle, was it the Endeavour? No, it wasn't the Endeavour. Your one was the first civilian astronaut. She was a school teacher. Columbia. It's Columbia, yeah. I remember watching that being launched and then exploding, and then I can remember the search operation for it. When they were looking for the wreckage, it was spread out over the whole of South Florida. And I can remember the iconic thing was there was a picture released of one of the astronauts' charred helmets just sitting on the grass that they found somewhere. I remember seeing that as well. Can you remember where you were doing when the tsunami hit Japan 2011? 2011 tsunami. I remember watching footage of it, but I think it was after the fact it happened because I think it was at work or I was somewhere anyway that I didn't actually see it happen. And I remember watching about the power plant. They were worried about the power plant melting down. There are more pieces of the wall than there were in the private collection. I can remember going actually to the Imperial War Museum with my family, and they had a huge, big section. It used to be right outside the front of it, actually. I think they moved it. But they had a full section of the actual Berlin Wall at one stage. I was standing near the grassy knoll with an umbrella when JFK was shot. Shh! Don't say that. Don't say that. Kenny Rebel, yeah, but Lee Harvey was aiming at you, Kenny. Kenny's very elusive. Kenny's hard to get. Kenny is very elusive. Bulletproof Brawley. Um, but yeah, so we're nearly at an hour. We're going to give it another 10 minutes, guys, and we'll finish up for the night, and we will give it a. There will be some videos coming up this weekend that I hope you will enjoy. So we'll give it the usual 10 minutes is for you to just randomly ask questions off of me and things like that. You're more than welcome to. One thing I will say though, guys, is please keep your thoughts and prayers for the people that are involved in that action. In you'll be all know where we're all watching the news. Just keep your thoughts and prayers on them. Is the wall still up in Northern Ireland? Do you know which wall? Peace lines. There's peace lines all over Northern Ireland. There's more actually now than there was, but during the Troubles were, believe it or not. There are peace lines around the place. The border checkpoints, if that's what you mean, were all demolished. If you know where to look, you will still find the footprints of them. But the actual border, it has been taken down. But in Belfast, there are peace lines and stuff like that. Without specific rocketry. Without strategic rocketry with Kenny as well. Kenny, I don't even think a heat-seeking missile could get Kenny. He's always ducking and diving. He should be a boxer. Which type of military videos do you prefer on YouTube? One with the presenter on camera, or one which you just object and shoot? I like them both. Everyone has their own style. I like the way you do stuff. The way you're less formal and make it more interesting. Um, some people like the way I do when I'm talking about jackets and stuff like that, or when I'm showing an item. They seem to like the way I do it that way. But then when I'm doing a full mannequin, right, remember I used to do a full mannequin on a dummy and I just talk through it. They prefer to see me do those action type ones now. Whereas I did the Northern Ireland border, Irish soldier on the border, the Australian and Vietnam, those type of ones. So that's what I plan on doing for those. But like okay, two well known military YouTubers, I suppose, would be Rifleman Moore, Simon Moore, Military Collectibles, CJ. Simon has a very, very distinctive way of doing things, but he does it both ways. Where he's showing something, he will just show you the item. And then the other way is he will stand beside the item and show you. So he's presenting it and observing it. Military Collectibles does an awful lot of presenting. He videos the item and talks about it at the same time. So they do have, everyone has their own specific ways of doing it. And I don't like one way over the other. I find both ways very good, actually, to tell you the truth. Depends what it is. Thinking to be in shot, a medal, maybe not. What I mean is the wall in Belfast that's supposed to be like 40 foot high. Oh, you mean the peace lines? Yeah, the peace lines are all over the place, and there's some of them more than 40 feet high. There's one in, is it Bombay Street? I think it's Bombay Street. It actually covers the backs of houses, completely covers the backs of houses. From literally their back garden all the way up to the tops of their chimneys. It covers the whole back of the house. I just want the of Yugoslavia ration packs. It might be out there somewhere. If anyone can help Dave, guys, there, give him a hand. I'm planning on painting a handy palm tree in my garden. Better get a Vietnam setup. You want 3 stand. Plant some rice, 2 stand. Yeah, exactly. You need to have like a full rice paddy. You need to absolutely flood the garden up to your shins and go around and plant the rice as well. That's what you need to do. Rifleman Moore is a bedrock on our direction of interest. Rifleman Moore, Simon, he's an absolute gentleman. I've known Simon for a long time. Um, I've talked to him via Skype. I've collaborated with him. We've helped each other out in the past with different items and stuff like that. Stan is an absolute gentleman. Or not Stan. Simon is an absolute gentleman. Stan there as well, who's another icon of military collecting on YouTube. Is a gentleman as well. But Simon is a gentleman. In fairness, all the lads, Steve from Living History UK, very approachable guy to talk to. Stan, very approachable guy to talk to. CJ is a very approachable guy. Simon, myself, everybody, we all collaborate with each other. Believe it or not, we're all friends. We all talk to each other. I talk to Andrew. I talk to Dave. I talk to Stan every week. Normally, Kenny, Padraig, the boys. If you drop me an email, I'll always answer. Um, so yeah, so it's good to have an interest in this. Bit of a bamboo and some New Zealand palm trees, and I'm there. Exactly. And then you can sit there with your beer then as well. You slipped up there, John. You meant to say I was a twat. You're not a twat. You're our twat, but you're not a twat. You're an absolute gentleman, Stan. Don't worry about it. Jim Timber. Forgetting about poor old Jim Timber. Jim Timber is another interesting character. But he's a character. He's a nice guy as well behind it all. He's a nice guy. Right, guys. So that's the hour. I can hear trouble next door. So if you get a beat on Kenny. Um, so guys, I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna leave you. I'll see you on next Friday at 8 o'clock, usual time. Enjoy yourselves. Have a great weekend. There will, as I said, there will be some videos coming up over the weekend. So I hope you like them and I hope you enjoy them and stay safe. And I'll see you next Friday.